LeBron James is trending right now for all the wrong reasons. The biggest of them coming after former NBA player Jeff Teague recently went viral after making some pretty sinister accusations against LeBron James. And it has gotten so bad that many people believe Jeff Teague received quote-unquote the call because he has now come out repeatedly backtracking his statements about LeBron James. But to put this into perspective, I want you all to consider this. LeBron James has been on the receiving end of many rumors and allegations for many years. From people accusing him of being in the Illuminati and a part of secret societies. And I believe this is just people being misinformed or uninformed, so this is no disrespect. But I don't believe LeBron James is a part of quote-unquote the Illuminati. I have reasons to believe that LeBron James is a part of something they call the Boule. And I also believe that LeBron James is a Freemason. Which reminds me, for my Patreon members, I just dropped part 1 of my Shannon Sharpe Who Do You Serve series, where ironically enough, LeBron James comes up as we speak about what they call the GOAT agenda. So please go and check that out when you get a chance. If you are not yet a member of the Patreon, link is in the description. Please consider becoming a member, as you will have access to many videos you cannot find here on YouTube. People have also accused LeBron James of attending Diddy's freak-off parties and even covering for some of his potential crimes.
Start this off, since I'm the man of the hour, the man of the show. I want to ask LeBron, what does he mean by there's no party like a Diddy party? I truly want to know. And not only that, LeBron, how many Diddy parties have you actually been to? I'm really curious to know. And is that the reason you left social media? Because all the backlash you were getting for going to so many Diddy parties? It's just pathetic, man. People think this guy's a role model.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
And people have also accused LeBron James of cheating on his wife. As a matter of fact, he's been facing these allegations for years, with the most recent and popular accusations coming from Drake and DJ Academics.
Flash for LeBron. Yo, LeBron, I talked to enough in Canada. I've talked to enough people. Maybe Drake will keep teasing it. Let me just tell you what I've heard. Yo, LeBron, you and Drake used to go on 2-mans, okay? You've been cheating on your goddamn wife. Drake used to facilitate the and basically, essentially, you can't dance to a song about him being a he used to supply you. I'm sorry, my nigga. Yes, if I'm Drake, I snitch on you too. Sorry, buddy. You can't do that. No. You've been living a lie, and everybody been thinking you're this perfect guy, but when you come to Canada, I know some of the whores. When you come to Canada, you come to certain places, I'm supplying you with the white women you love. You don't even like black chicks. White women.
And most recently, people have been accusing LeBron James and Clutch Sports of paying people and sponsoring a media smear campaign against Kobe Bryant. Because over the past month or so, there seems to have been this orchestrated agenda and media narrative coming from former players and podcasters who out of nowhere seem to have nothing but negative things to say about Kobe Bryant that they never publicly shared before while he was alive, but even in some cases contradicting things they've said about Kobe in the past. And these all seem to be players with nothing but positive things to say about LeBron James, which continues to fuel the reason why people believe that Clutch Sports is behind everything that's happening. Speaking of when Kobe was alive, there's another extensive documentary series I will be releasing on Patreon, delving into the death of Kobe Bryant, what I believe truly happened to him, the role I believe LeBron James had, based on social media posts, tattoos, numerology, interviews, and of course, other esoteric and spiritual reasons as well that all point in one direction, which by the way, I will also explain Kobe's role in his own demise as well. That's right. I have reason to believe that Kobe played a role in it as well. Everything is alleged, but again, be on the lookout for that. It's going to take some time to put that together. That'll probably be another 3 or 4 part series, but I will drop that on Patreon in the future as well. Well, what I wanted to put into perspective is that despite everything that I just listed, every rumor, every allegation, every accusation that I'm sure LeBron James has heard many of them before, despite everything I just named, LeBron James has never sued or sent any cease and desist letters to anybody to our knowledge until now. As it states here, LeBron James's legal team has issued cease and desist letters to people creating AI-generated videos depicting him as pregnant, leading to their Instagram accounts being banned. At least 3 Instagram accounts that have garnered millions of views on non-consensual AI videos of James have been deleted by Instagram. When asked by 404 Media whether it had received a cease and desist letter from LeBron James, Meta refused to comment. Well, LeBron James' legal team has probably made a couple of calls behind the scenes again, as Jeff Teague has recently went viral after he claimed that LeBron James was clearly on steroids during his stint in Miami.
Miami Heat Bron.
Miami Heat Bron.
Miami Heat.
I'm going this Cavs Bron because this Cavs Bron had a 3.
Man, y'all crazy. Miami
Heat
Heat
best Bron we ever
was,
seen. I ain't gonna lie.
he was on steroids, bro. He had to sit out. He was on steroids for real.
Now, I give you
like legit was on steroids, bro. I'm allegedly, but like he had to sit out. But y'all remember when they told him like
There goes the Clutch Sports allegations.
Y'all remember that? They was like he got everybody. They started testing for HGH, and they was like, yo, and he had to sit out. Like he said his back was hurt, and he sat out for like 3 weeks, and he came back skinny. This is just I was in the league. I remember. And he came back in. He was crazy though, bro.
That might have been the best Bron, bro. At Miami,
Bro,
so crazy, bro.
I think it was right.
Hey, put that
bro,
post in the chat, please.
Bro.
He lost that championship, bro. Bron came back different, bro.
And the thing is, he is not the first former NBA player or professional athlete to publicly make these claims about LeBron James, as people have been trying to make sense of how LeBron James has not only been able to play as long as he has, but more importantly, how has he been able to play as dominant as he's been while also avoiding any major injuries that to this day, LeBron James has yet to have any major injuries throughout his career, which I'm not wishing that on him or anybody else, but it has stood out to those that have played the same sport as he has.
If the world understood what LeBron did, like other basketball players will hear what LeBron does and go, well, yeah, but that doesn't matter, right? It's like a baseball player. You're hitting a stick out of the way. It doesn't matter. It's like, no. If you knew what these performance enhancers did, then you would know why it does matter.
What do you think he's
There's
doing?
only one. We have the same drug guy, if you will. I know exactly what he's doing.
Spend $1 million a year on your body.
That's part of it.
Yeah. So why we ain't got the blueprint yet? Why ain't they came out with the whole, hey, look, young fella, this is how you do it?
KD is doing it.
I'm asking.
I'm answering.
Why it ain't on the internet? Everything else on the internet. Give me the blueprint of 1, 2, 3. Go buy this hyperbaric chamber. Go get this massage therapist. Go get these things to help your legs and your knees. Hey, young fella, you want to last in this motherfucking league 24, 26, 20, 35 years? Do it like this. Why can't we figure out what you doing? And it ain't no genetic anomaly. This ain't no genetic. Either you an alien, a cyborg, or you're doing something nobody else knows what the fuck you doing, nigga.
Simply say to you, what do you think is more likely? That an athlete would try and defy age through science at the end of his career, or that one athlete had a career that defied the limits of the human body, unlike any we've ever seen in terms of mileage and how his body holds up for 20 straight years? I'm assuming did Kareem have more minutes? I'm assuming LeBron James has played more minutes than anyone else. Which do you think is more likely?
On Andrew Schultz, and man, this guy, he's taking EPO. We got the same deal, Aaron. I'm speaking to a positivity of medicines that are out there. It was a very different point. And they're saying, well, how could you trust that guy? And blah, blah, blah. They were still missing the point. This wasn't to out somebody or act like his good deeds or his good career or his scores or his titles were somehow illegitimate. It wasn't like that. But you will have certain sports where it's a level playing field of cheating. And the expression everybody's doing, that's not true, and that's a cop-out. If I was to look at the guys in the NBA that are on the gear, I'm not going to need all my fingers. In the entire league, I'm not going to need all of my fingers. And so when you have a guy that's on the cocktail, test, growth, EPO, ultimate cocktail that's created, these three. When you have a guy that's on that, I am speaking to the power of the medicine. The Rock has always been very nice to me. I don't like to come out and disparage The Rock. He's always been a very sweet guy. It bothers me that he won't tell people what he's doing, right? If you're going to put your picture out and you're going to put your look, don't talk about it's because, I eat pancakes on Sundays only and I do these things, because somebody's going to go and do that. I'm one of those guys. I grew up under Hulk Hogan. I'm also not mad at Hulk. He's also very sweet to me. But I did grow up under Hulk Hogan, and I did do all sorts of curls, and I did do all sorts of push-ups, and I did these all the time, trying to look like him. And before you know it, this all the time business I'm speaking of was 15 years. 15 years of gym memberships and in the weight room. But he hadn't told me the rest of it.
Bronny get a bucket on Bron right now?
Yeah, he can get a bucket on Bron right now.
Nope.
Nah, he can get a bucket on his
Bron
dad right
averaging
now.
25.
No, I didn't say he ain't. I don't care what he's doing, but he ain't sliding, playing at that defensive level.
25? Nah. Lord, 25? You still, Lord, he dunking?
Man, come on. That little dude explosive, bro.
He is, but you seen his dad? His dad on that balcony.
Yeah,
he on that new
he
juice.
ain't
That
sliding like he used to.
Yes, he takes care of his body, obviously. Better than anybody in the game. Better than anybody in the game. On the other hand, in the history of the NBA, when you've played as many seasons as LeBron, let's not forget, straight out of high school, he's playing a full slate. They didn't take it easy on him in terms of the minutes like they did on Kobe. They gave him, he was carrying the load. The minute his foot hit the ground in the NBA, he was off and running. And this is a bunch of seasons. What is it, 14 now? I mean, it's like when you think of the older players, they were 36, 37 years old, 38 years old by the time they played the minutes that LeBron James has played. And those are rough minutes. Now this season, I've been saying since the beginning, given that fact, I don't care how you take care of your body, or rather, one of the ways you take care of your body, the fact that LeBron James has taken very few games off this season, not like last season, 2 seasons ago, when he mysteriously in the offseason lost like 30 pounds of muscle mass and didn't look the same and didn't play the same. Paleo diet.
2 seconds later.
It feels like he's rising. That's LeBron James. Even if he is declining, he is declining at such a slow pace that people are actually sitting around going, is he getting better? Which is impossible, but he's making us imagine that. How could he be having a bad year?
It does raise an eyebrow that he gets better as everyone gets worse. I'll leave it at that.
If nothing else, it is a bad look for LeBron because you know Randy Mims, I think. Have you been around him at all? Or
Don't know him.
Oh, you don't know him. Okay,
No,
I thought.
you're not putting me with him.
Okay, well, I'm not trying to associate. But Randy Mims is a cornerstone of that group. He is the right-hand man to LeBron James.
I understand.
He is hands-on on a daily basis in ways that Rich Paul and Maverick are not. This is day-to-day. He is on top of every little thing with LeBron James. So my point to you is, Randy Mims obviously is well taken care of by LeBron, so he's got some money, I assume. So why would he have to resort to going to a questionable source that eventually would be linked to biogenesis to get testosterone and whatever metabolism enhancing injections that he needs, even if he's just doing it for his personal weight loss, and that can help in weight loss. There are wellness centers like on every other corner. You can go to a real live doctor, a qualified doctor, and you can get a prescription for testosterone or whatever you want. You can do it above board. You can do it through the proper channel. You can do it the right way. Why would you resort to dealing with a shady character, a very questionable character, who finally gets caught up in this biogenesis scandal because you don't need to deal with that guy. You can just do it the right way.
And the craziest part is that Jeff Teague would immediately come out on social media backtracking and accusing the fans of misinterpreting what he said. But my problem is, I don't believe he was joking at all, because as many crazy things that are said on their podcast all the time, especially over the years, they've went viral for saying a lot of crazy stuff over the years, a lot of controversial statements, some of them more recently about Kobe. How many times do you see them backtracking, and how many times do you hear them say allegedly? Jeff Teague, if you were joking while you were talking about LeBron James, then why would you use the word allegedly? There's no reason to say allegedly if the entire thing of what you were saying was a joke. It would make no sense. But you also wouldn't follow up with an exclusive special Patreon episode where once again you backtracked and accused the fans of misinterpreting what you said and not taking the entire conversation into context, despite the fact that you know, like everybody else know, that the claims that you're making, many people have made over the years about LeBron James, many of them being public and former NBA players, and some of them being former NBA Hall of Famers, which means it's going to garner more attention. You're not the only person to say this about LeBron, specifically during his time in Miami.
Man, listen, bro.
We was only on Clutch Sports for 2 weeks, man.
Man, they kicked me off of Clutch, bro. Listen, bro, it was a joke, bro. Like, what did they miss, bro?
Hey, now, before we even get to that, who do we have on the show? We have from Clutch, and they were just like, yeah, I had to double check to see if he was actually on the roster. Was that Alicia Gray?
Yeah, Alicia Gray. Yeah. Like, they like,
He's not, Alicia.
No, I'm not. I'm not on Clutch Sports. And definitely after this, I will never get another Clutch opportunity. Because y'all take everything out of context. We're literally giving LeBron praise of how dominant he was.
Yeah, y'all wasn't really watching the show. And I mean, that's why shit get clipped up, though.
And my thing is, do I believe that LeBron James could have potentially used steroids throughout his career? Yes, I do. Everything I'm saying in this video is alleged. These are just my opinions by way of observation. I believe LeBron James has had a career that's almost unheard of, not just from a statistical perspective and how great he's been as long as he's been great, but it's the fact that he's avoided any major injuries, which again, good for him. I'm not wishing that on him. But the fact that he's been able to do that, despite the amount of minutes and hours and tread on his body from playing basketball for over 20 years now, and that's just in the NBA alone. Now, if I'm going to make that claim, why do I believe that LeBron James is one of maybe very few NBA players who have allegedly, or who could have allegedly, participated in steroid use and not have had anybody to tell on him up until this point? Well, it's the same reason I believe LeBron James has been able to get away with other things professionally and personally without any major stories coming out exposing him. And it's something that I've talked about once again in my Shannon Sharpe series. It's because of what I believe LeBron James has done in other areas of his life that, again, I'm not going to get too deep into on YouTube because I don't want to be sued for defamation. But yes, we talk about that in the Shannon Sharpe series on Patreon. But I do believe that LeBron James has been allowed to get away with certain things because he's held up his end of the bargain in other areas of his life, allegedly. And up until this point, we haven't heard anything about any cease and desist letters going out to Jeff Teague and his 520 podcast. But I do find it interesting that of all things that they've talked about over the years, this is the one thing he's immediately backtracked. Like, I believe he came out like the next day after he went viral, after his statements went viral, and he's been backtracking. But not only backtracking, but he's praising LeBron all over again in the midst of him backtracking, talking about how dominant he's been, how great LeBron is. It's strange, and it stood out to a lot of people. But y'all up in the comment section, y'all give me your thoughts. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. I thought this was very interesting because I think LeBron James and his team has done a great job of keeping his image as squeaky clean. And as we know, including myself and everybody watching this video, nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect, But again, y'all up in the comment section, let me know what y'all think, man. I'm Demetrius. I go by Diddy. That's all for this one. Peace. Oh yeah, Diddy got a podcast.